you feel like anybody really knows you?
Yeah.
Who would that person be?
Live-in boyfriend of 3 years.
What scares you the most?
Change.
Has there been a specific time in your life where some really radical change happened?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that time?
Right now, leaving that live-in boyfriend. The one person who I think might know me more than anybody on this earth, leaving him.
You know, I figure the people that really understand me are really the ones that are worth associating with, and if they don't understand me, then it's just actually more effort than it's worth to bridge that gap.
Is there any one person that you feel knows you more than anyone else?
Maybe her.
Really? What about you does she see or understand?
I would hope that I'm an excellent dad.
What are you doing with my dad?
Is it okay if I film that? Okay. I'm interviewing your dad. It's pretty cool. He says that you understand him more than anyone else.
I'm actually a big fan of Anton LaVey, so I guess if I had to class myself, I'd be a Satanist.
What about Satanism appeals to you?
The aspect of responsibility to the responsible, and you're your own God, you're your own salvation, and no one else is going to save you.
What am I most afraid of? Failure. Not being able to get to where I want to be. Just being confused. And yeah, that's probably my biggest thing. Saddest time in my life. That would probably be when my brother passed away 2 years ago. And yeah, it's been really difficult. Definitely life altering.
Do you think you'll get to see your brother again?
Oh, I know I will.
Well, for me, I would say the most important things in life is my daughter right here, family, friends, and ultimately being content with what you have, rather if it's a lot or a little.
Are you a complete atheist or agnostic?
I think atheist is similar to like joining a group, because isn't that a group of people? I just prefer to stay out of a group or labeling myself, but I just don't believe in God or an afterlife or anything. I think we're just living organisms, you know, just like every other living organism on the earth. So I think once you die, you see black, and that's it. It's over.
Most afraid of. Of living too long. That's my main fear.
Can you tell me why?
I would hate to be taking up space that other people need. I would hate to be a burden on somebody. The biggest nightmare would be to have my family paying huge bills for me when I wasn't going to make it anyway. But believe me, that's never going to happen. I will make sure that never happens.
Care to elaborate on what you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I see no harm in terminating life if I have reached a stage where I have no quality of life anymore and I'm just taking up space.
Would you take your own life?
I'd go to Oregon and have it taken for me.
How do you go about being happy?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. Trying just a whole bunch of stuff until I figure it out.
Are you happy right now?
No.
Would you tell me why?
I just have my family really far away, a bad relationship situation, and it just isn't, I'm just not in a good place right now.
Tell me about your relationship. What's going wrong with it?
Well, it ended suddenly because of escalating violence in the relationship, so it was kind of it had to end. It was necessary for my safety.
Probably when I hit the age of 18, I kind of broke away from my faith that I was practicing. It was the LDS faith. My belief system kind of shattered, and I was kind of grasping and trying to figure out. I went on a kick for 2 years about finding what the ultimate truth was, and I was just reading all sorts of New Age material and studying different, religious practices and trying to figure out what the right way was. And it was really just, the word turmoil comes to mind. It was rough. I was really unhappy for a long time.
Did you discover anything?
Kind of just make your own way. I kind of learned not to be so hung up on the answers and just kind of enjoy the ride, that whole saying, like, it's not about the destination, it's about getting there. So I'm just trying to now enjoy myself and just find what makes me happy. And I still have some core beliefs. Like, I still believe in, the golden rule. I believe in treating other people with kindness and all that kind of thing, but more or less just kind of paving my own way and taking little things from everything, I guess, and making it my own.
Do you feel at peace?
More at peace than I've ever been at this point, yes.
I'm going through a divorce. Like, my husband cheated on me, and I thought it was like, I thought the saddest time in my life was like 4 or 5 years ago when my brother died, but this is definitely a lot worse.
I went up to Canada, committed 32 felonies up there, and escaped from prison, stabbed a jailer, tried to break out of prison, took hostages, robbed a ski resort for $30,000, and then as I was coming through Utah, I put a gun on a guy out in California and took his Corvette. I was going to go to Canada, so I figured I'd go in style. And I was coming through Utah, and up in Ogden, I was running out of gas, and I pulled off down by the river, and a couple of cops come up on me, wanted to know what I was doing sleeping there, and they wanted to see the registration. So I pulled my gun on them, took their guns, handcuffed them up, went on up to Canada, went on a crime spree up there. I ended up with, started out with 20 year sentence, and then I got 5 more for that, trying to break out of prison. So I ended up with a 25-year sentence. Transferred down here through the prisoner exchange treaty, and ended up in Utah prison for kidnapping those two cops. Got a 5 to life sentence out of that. So time it was all over with, I did 25 flat straight years. I've been out about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. I'm way off parole. I pretty much behave anymore. I ain't totally rehabilitated, but
What drove you to do all that?
I'm not sure. Never have quite figured it out. I got a strong belief that, in God and all that. Yet the things that I do, is just, it's hard to understand. Why do I do that when I believe like I do? I don't know. Never have figured it out.